Welcome to another episode from the Outdoor Analyst. Today, I've got a really fun video. And my goal, of course, is always to overcome groupthink in the outdoor industry, which is huge. And today, really, I'm just stoked on this knife. We had our opening deer season yesterday. I was luckily successful, and this knife came along with me. And this is the second time on opening day I've been successful, and I've had this knife with me. My dad gave this to me a couple years ago, and it has been my go-to on opening day because of this. It is fantastic, and I never would have thought I'd say that about a Benchmade fixed blade, more or less an outdoor fixed blade in S30V. And I love this thing. Is it because I was given it as a gift? You know, that probably has something to play into it, and it also goes along with 2 opening season bucks, and that also probably plays into it. But being able to zip through deer in the field really fast, this knife has just given me confidence. It looks like I've actually got a little bit of blood I didn't clean up from yesterday. That's okay. Oh, a little more there. That's the beauty of S30V. It's a stainless steel, and there won't be any rust on it. I actually pulled it out of the sheath just a minute ago, and there's a little bit of water in there too. And guess what? There's no rust here. That's fantastic. I'll leave it out overnight. Maybe put a fan on it. It'll dry out. But that's why I love this knife. S30V, as we all know, was, the super steel 10 years ago. Now it's just your average folder steel, average decent folder steel. And you'll find it on fixed blades every now and then. S35VN is usually a little more fixed bladey because it's a little tougher. And normally I would have been worried about this. Actually, I was worried about this on the first time I took it. I thought when I hit a bone, it'd just chip. But after one deer, no issues. This year, 2 deer, 0 issues on the edge. It was just screaming sharp after I was done, and it's screaming sharp today, and I haven't touched up at all, and I just love that. So what a win on this knife. And if you're looking for, I'd say, kind of a mid-grade knife at this point, they're only 80 bucks now. They have a new line that came out for Benchmade, which is like an upgraded S90V steel, and you can get these for like 70, 80 bucks, depending where you're looking. Brand new from an actual reputable store, which is lovely. I don't think you can really go wrong with them. You can get them with a gut hook, without. For me, my hands, I have large size hands. I lock in really well. The guard does great. My finger does touch the jumping up there. This knife is super light, and man, it's controllable when you're going in and out of deer. Going for the esophagus, I feel great with this thing, and it's so grippy. And boy, is it grippy when it's bloody, which is what I want. I normally hate serrations, but for field dressing, it changes the game. For a fixed blade, I normally despise them in every way, but on these things, these are really muted. They're really soft, and they just lock you in. And that's exactly what you want, especially when your hands are cold and you're having, you don't have that dexterity that you normally have. Maybe you're all hyped up on adrenaline, which sometimes I am, and then you're also freezing. Having it lock in is just a win, and these thumb scallops are they're perfect. They're perfect for me. It's a super thin knife. You don't want to go bushcrafting with this by any means. It's not what it's for either. Would it work? Yeah, it'd probably be okay for a few minutes until your hands started just absolutely getting eaten up by just really the work. It's not meant to be hammer gripped. It's meant to just, be zipping through skin, and it does a great job. Just can't say enough about it. The sheath, I am not a great fan of, but for what it is, it works. Looks like a Kydex with a leather backing. The only thing I don't like about it, if this actually had active retention, I'd be pumped. But it doesn't. It's loose in there. It can come out anytime you want. There's no jamming it in there. But guess what? That's why they gave you a nice little leather strap. And it does actually shake around with that too. I'll show. There we go. Still shakes around. Does that really bother me? No. It's a field dressing knife. I throw this in my backpack. It's in my kill kit. Done. I don't really have to think about it. Don't have to worry about it poking through my bag or poking me when I'm putting my hands in there, because it's Kydex, and this strap I've had no issues with it. So, is it great? No, it's not great. Does it work for an $80 knife? It works just fine. Not a problem at all. And here's what I'm always kind of stoked about, is this knife, even though I have really cool secondary backup knives, this knife still gets chosen first. It just does. Like, here's a nice Bark River Bushcrafter. Really nice, comfortable, thick handle, great in the hammer grip, works still really good when I'm trying to choke up. I think it's fantastically controllable, and you know what? It fits my state. Hello, corn cob handle. What a fantastic job there. Was the knife perfect? No, by no means. It's a Bark River. There's a lot of grinding errors, but I still love it. I love it. Always comes with me. But guess what? I still use this thing. This thing just works so well in my mind. If I'm cold and I need to get something done fast, this knife just is fan-freaking-tastic. I think if I had any issues, if you had smaller hands, you probably wouldn't be able to reach up to there very well. So you might want to get the version without the gut hook if your finger is not going to be like, large size hands that long. Just a thought there. If you are doing your rear end cuts on Mr. Deerio and you need to go around, I did have this stick a few times, which is kind of annoying because you're trying to get more than a ½ inch in or an inch in. You want to get 2 inches there in the first section of field dressing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up a few YouTube videos. They usually always start at the back end. You'll know why after that. And you'll be like, ew, he touched that. No, whoop-de-doo. It's been soaped and disinfected all over, so it's just fine. But other than that, I love it. It's thin, it's light, it just bloody works. So if you're looking for a knife that's around 70, 80 bucks, go for it. I can't recommend them enough. I've had no issues with them. If you want to get the souped up versions that are like 200 bucks, go for it. They have S90V. They might be a little more chippy, even though they shouldn't be. I think Benchmade's really good at having soft steel or soft versions of their steel on fixed blades. I've given them crap about it in the past. I think it's fine. I still think even their new Luku and 3V is a little softer than Bark River's 3V. And that's okay. That's okay. It's their choice. You can make 3V however you want. You can make all their steels however they want. I think they're a little softer in fixed blades, and you know what? That's probably a good thing. So there you go. Don't worry about it. I haven't had any, sample of one, but haven't had any issues. Good edge retention, not chippy on their fixed blade S30V. And I just go for it. Enjoy. That's my little fun update. I'm still pumped. I'm ready to go out tomorrow and get a doe. So there we go. Happy hunting and happy slicing.